Yep.
Welcome everyone to the Windy City MMA channel. This is our UFC Fight Night Shanghai Walker versus Zhang breakdown. Coming off a great UFC 319 card where we were both fortunate enough to be able to attend in Chicago. Unfortunately, besides Carlos Prates, of course, we didn't make too much money, but Prates kind of saved the night for both of us. I'm not gonna lie about that one. So we'll go down. First fight of the evening, and excuse my pronunciation of a lot of these guys because it will be bad. We got Uran Sadibalidiev versus DR Nurgozai. Who do you got?
All right, we're gonna go by first names only. I'm gonna go with Uran. Um, I know his last fight, he lost his last fight, but it wasn't really his weight class. So I feel like now he has like a better camp and a better, like strategic way of taking his dub. DR, I like his stand. He's a strong guy. I just hate his every little 3 second twitch to his
Yeah,
eye, and I feel like Uran's gonna time it at one and just just either end the fight or knock him down and just get some points until the decision.
100%. Yeah, like you said, Uran's coming down to 205 now. He lost his debut at heavyweight against Martin Buday, who is a good prospect. I guess they cut him. That makes no sense. DR is also coming off a loss, but submission against Ribeiro in his debut. So both coming off losses in their debuts. And like you said, I kind of want to go dog here, and I think I'm gonna. Um, he I thought obviously he looked bad in his UFC debut, but he was good. He was a huge favorite in his debut, huge favorite. He's like minus 500. So I expect him to, I expect it to be UFC jitters and him to bounce back. So I might play him as a dog, but I wouldn't feel too confident in him. But he's a big dog. He's like plus 200, plus 250. So it might be a fun play for me at least. So we're split here, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we move to the next fight. Zhao Long versus Su Young Yu. Got
We're
anyone?
on the same page on this one, right?
Yeah, I think we're both going dog.
Dog.
Yeah, we're both going dog. We're both going Zhao Long. Um, I think it could be a close dog fight. 10 these Asian guys in general, especially, coming off the road to the UFC stuff, they like to scrap. They like to throw down and just scrap. So I'll take the guy with a couple more KOs, tougher UFC competition, but it's a close fight. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna have money on it, but we'll see. You got anything else to add?
No, it's pretty much the same thing. It'll be a China versus South Korea based. Um, I just like Xiao Long, a little more experience, and yeah, I think you take the dub. But I won't put any money on this either on this
Yeah.
fight.
I think you gotta be careful this card, to be honest. A lot of the Asian guys, when these cards tend to happen, they're either looking very good or they're looking very bad. They're either getting knocked out cold when they should be winning or they're knocking their opponent out cold. So maybe a lot of these to not go the distance. We'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well because a lot of these, first one that comes back to mind is I believe Baku, the Baku fight card.
Yeah,
Um,
that was, I think, the last
there was
one.
a lot of yes, there was a lot of these Asian places they get a lot of KOs, a lot of not to the distance in fights. So let's see if this is the same
100%.
thing. 4 in the morning.
Yeah, again, we got a nice early one. It's gonna be fun. All right, we'll move. Yiza versus Weston Wilson. Now, Yiza's a minus 500 or minus 1500 favorite, sorry, in this fight, which is crazy. I mean, I do think he's going to win, but I won't be betting his money line. I was thinking very possible this fight to just end by submission. Both these guys like to sub. Weston Wilson is not unused to just grabbing his own submission. So I think of this fight to end by sub, depending on what the line looks like, could be a fun play. And it's very possible. So I don't
Yeah,
think
agreed. Same side, same outcome as well by decision. It's either I think in the second or third round, Weston Wilson tends to survive the first round. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised because Yiza lost his last round. I'm pretty sure he's has a different mindset now that I'm just gonna end the fight quickly. So I do think it's not gonna go distance and same sub.
There you go.
Easy one.
All right, we move Michelle Pereira versus Kyle Dawkins. Now this one's weird. Pereira is
Yes.
good. Pereira is good, and I'm gonna probably, if I had to pick gun to my head, I'll take him by finish in probably the first or second round. But Dawkins has been calling for his UFC return for a long time. And he's finally getting it. He is getting it against good competition, but he's finally getting it. So I can't imagine him not being ready. Now, obviously, there's a big difference between UFC comp and other comp. Um, so I wouldn't put too much stock in the fact that Dawkins has been winning outside of the UFC, but you never know. I'm taking Pereira, probably by early finish. But I guess you never really know. It's weird. It's a weird one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this fight, when I saw this fight, the main thing that came across my mind was who is really like part of the UFC. Like who is I believe this fight is gonna like challenge because Pereira has been looking a little bit bad in his past fights and his past L's. Even though they're high competition,
Yeah.
such as Fluffy with that main event, he did have some success in the first rounds, but later on in the later on, well, I guess he got finished that fight as well.
Yeah, and
Since
the
this is a three, yeah, since this is a 3 round fight, I do see him either getting it out like in the first or second round, like you were saying. But
yeah.
Dawkins is a live underdog on this one. I guess it's like the reason I'm saying is who is UFC material because Pereira has been looking a little bit bad in his past performances, and Dawkins started the, I mean, was in the UFC, got cut because got 2 losses in a row, and now is back. Bounced back, and I think he found his right mindset. So
Yeah, that's very
I'd
true.
rather not touch this, but a little bit plays, not on the parlay though. Go ahead.
100%. No, I agree with you. I mean, I think it'll all depend on how Dawkins shows up because Prairie could go out and finish him in the first round, but is Dawkins ready for the UFC competition again? That's a question that I don't know. So, because you can't really compare, as we've come to learn, other promotions with the UFC. So,
Yep.
yeah, gun to my head, Pereira first round, second round finish, but I don't know. We'll move Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. What are you thinking?
I got this one raw zoo
Zoo.
inside the distance. Yes. Um, I think Austin Hubbard is going to make it a little tough in the first round, but after the second and third, it's either going to be a inside the distance or a wrong zoo by decision with the second or third round, maybe in all 3 rounds. But Austin Hubbard is going to have a little bit of success in the first round, is what I'm saying. But after
Yeah,
that, he better finish it. If not, it's all wrong zoo. I like his
100%.
style. I like how he's coming up. So all for him.
I agree. I could definitely see, a 30, 27, 29, 28, 29, 28 scorecard. 100% on this fight. So maybe just 29, 28. We'll see. But I agree. I think Rongzhu is gonna win. I'm not a big fan of those tough show guys. To be honest, Austin Hubbard, Kurt Hollabaugh, they're tough, but like I don't know why. I was just never the biggest fan of those guys. So I'm gonna go Rongzhu, probably decision. But again, he's a huge favorite too. I think he's minus two something, minus 300. This is minus 250. So yeah, I don't know. The odds when you're in a different country or state, they tend to favor the hometown guys. And
Exactly.
so you're gonna get lopsided odds. Like you're gonna get the minus 1500 Giza versus Weston Wilson. You're gonna get the UFC debut that starts off the main card. He's like minus couple hundred. Like you're gonna get those. It's unfortunate, but that's what you're gonna do. We'll move. Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanaugh. I think this has possible fight of the night written all over it, depending on how Loner Kavanaugh fights, if he's going to chain wrestle or how it's going to go there. But I know we're on opposite sides here. I'm picking Loner Kavanaugh. I think, he's just going to grapple his way to a decision. But I do think Johnson can win this fight, beating Joshua Van, handing him his first loss. Um, but I do think Loner will just end up winning a decision. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got this fight going to decision. I'd be really amazed if Charles Johnson knocks him out or just something ends the fight. But like you said, this is fight of the night. Yeah, I got Charles Johnson. I think his output, his pace, and especially in the second and third round when usually the other fighter is a little more tired and not in there anymore, and that's where Charles Johnson just toughens up and starts getting a lot more output.
100%.
Uh, the thing I do like is that his takedown defense is going to play a big factor in this. Like you said, he's going to Loner Kavanaugh wants to shoot a lot, but I think his defense is going to hold up against him. Um, I don't see I don't see Loner KOing Charles Johnson,
Yeah, I
but
agree with you.
I don't see that. So I see this one going into decision. I'm picking Charles Johnson by decision. Maybe even a split one. Loner has gotten what, one or two split decisions. One was Jose Ochoa and I believe Dos Santos. Those were close fights. And if only they were able to have a better defense, which I think Charlie Johnson is going to do, I think they would have won those fights. So I think he's due for an L, 9-0. I think it's UFC veteran status, dog of the week.
All right, we're split here, but it's gonna be a good fight either way. We move. Meishate versus Gage Young. This is the kind of surprising one that the UFC, the Asian guy, the Chinese guy is the dog in this fight. But I'm gonna go with the favorite. I'm going with Gage Young. It's crazy how things can switch up. Meishate, however, I think that's how you pronounce it, was a like or he won his first UFC fight, his debut by knocking out Steve Garcia. So, that's a crazy debut win. Looking back on it, now he's 1-3 in his last four. I mean, it's crazy how odds and how quick things can change up when fighting. So, could be a dog fight though, but I'm taking Gage Young. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like Gage Young. I think he's well, they're both coming out from losses in their
Yeah,
past fights, but I think he's going to be able to make it to close the distance because what is it, 3-inch height disadvantage? What about the reach?
only one and a
Not
half
that much, so
inches.
it's okay. Yeah, not that much. No, I like his style. I like Gage Young's style. I'm picking him. I like it. I just hope he closes the distance and doesn't get, too much on the outside for him.
Yeah, so we're both going Gage Young. We moved to the main card. This is the guy I
Yep.
was talking about, the Tailake Noarji versus Kiefer Crosby. This is the guy that's a huge favorite against Kiefer Crosby. He's making his UFC debut. They're obviously going to try to build his hype up. Crosby's 0-2 in the UFC, both by sub. So I say, why not add a KO loss in that? I think Noarji is probably going to win this fight by KO. But finish is probably the safer play. I don't know what the odds are going to be yet. What are you
I
thinking?
like that. Yeah, I did have it not go the distance as well on the RG side. So yeah, once the odds come out, we'll for sure look into that.
There you go. We're both taking the favorite. It seems like they're going to be try to build this guy because you could put this Charles Johnson Kavanaugh on the main card. I think that's probably more deserving.
Yes.
But the
Yes.
fact that they have him on there, in my mind, makes me think that they want him to put it on a show for the Chinese crowd. We move to the next fight, which I think we are both in agreement on. Sumit Warji versus Kevin Borjas. I think we're both on the dog side here. So give me Borjas. I think he's actually very good. He's just had a lot of hard fights and he's still young in the UFC. So I'm going to take the dog. What are you thinking? He can scrap too.
Yeah, this is going to be a scrap as well. This is going to be a probably a it's either going to be a fight of the night with this one or whoever the winner's performance of the night because these guys are going to be standing up at all time. Charles Johnson fight is going to be both on the ground and stand up. I think this is going to be a straight stand up fight. They're both not that good on the ground. Sumadarji got submitted just like a Kaya Sakura by Tim Elliott. So Like I don't, yeah, I don't really trust him on the ground. Kevin Borjas doesn't seem like the one who's gonna take get some takedowns. So there's gonna be a straight kickboxing fight. This is a hard one. As long as Kevin Borjas makes it scrappy, close to the distance, because he is at a disadvantage at that. He's able to do that. I think a lot of his output is going to be able to get him the dub. But I am scared of Sumadarji's length and reach as well. He's going to keep it at a distance. He's not going to want Kevin Borjas to come into the pocket where he's going to be dangerous. So as long as Kevin Borjas is able to cut those angles, close the distance, I see him get the dub. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sumadarji gets the W.
There you go. Sounds good. So we're both picking Borjas, but we won't be surprised with the dog pick. We'll move.
Yeah.
Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, I think so. Realistically, Pavlovich should come out win by knockout here. He should win by knockout early. This is a huge step up in competition for Waldo Cortez Acosta. Huge step up. And like Pavlovich on paper should go out and win. But like something in the back of my mind is telling me Cortez Acosta is going to win this fight. And I don't know why. I'm picking Pavlovich, but something weird is telling me that he's going to win this fight. But 'cause he has been on a tear. He's been on a tear, but it's a big step up here. And Pavlovich not coming off a KO or not coming off of these two losses anymore. He's actually, he's back on his winning side. He won his last fight. Maybe if he was coming off the loss or the two losses, I would say that maybe he's a little bit more weary and might not go for it as much. But I think now that he's won, he'll go for it, in my opinion. What do you think?
The more I see this fight, it's not a 50-50 fight. Pavlovich does have a little bit of the edge, but Waldo Acosta, he's been showing how like his ground game is evolving. I haven't really seen Pavlovich that good on the ground where I say like, oh, this guy's a good wrestler, or like a good takedown defense.
Yeah,
Waldo Acosta has to take him to the ground to win this fight. Sergey Pavlovich has decent boxing. I wouldn't say elite boxing because his boxing
he has good
is
power.
good. Yes, exactly. That's the only thing. One little chin and it's over with. It's done. Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, all these guys, and then like it's just the death touch.
Yeah,
But if Waldo Acosta closes the distance, takes him to the ground, controls him, just as he did with um
Robelis
the
Span.
Taekwondo, yes, exactly. Everyone thought he was going to be the next person to challenge John Jones because he's a tall, lengthy guy. Nope,
Yep.
got got taken down. So I think this is almost the same thing. He has to have the same game plan, just not to get knocked out. But I am picking Pavlovich. I don't think it's going to go the first round anymore. I think he might survive
I
the
agree.
a little bit crazy-ish. So I might play the round three to decision
Mhm.
play. But it is live, man. He's due for a round one KO, man, and
He is due for a
it's
knockout for
crazy.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, I like this fight. I'm excited. It's on the main card. I'm excited we have this.
I agree. It's actually a decent card. It should be fun. I think there'll be a lot of scraps on this card. I think like there'll be a lot of dog fights and just swinging back and forth on this card, and that's what tends to happen when they go to the Asian countries, which is good. It's fun. They have a good crowd over there. They have a big following, so it's great. We'll move.
Exactly.
Co-main event of the evening: Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. I'm taking Sterling by decision. I think like the underration of how good Aljo actually looked against Evloev is not going to get talked about enough. And although Ortega didn't look terrible against Lopez, he made a decision. He didn't get finished. He did get rocked, and he got knocked out and then woken up. In my opinion, I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's a fact. I think he got knocked out and then
That's a
woken up with
fact.
the ground and pound. Yeah. So, but at least he didn't get finished. So I'm going to take Aljamain probably by decision per usual, but I kind of wouldn't be surprised. He's not going to submit him. He won't submit Ortega. So probably Aljo decision. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like Aljamain Sterling by decision. Brian Ortega just, I think his time in the UFC is done. He should have been done even against who was it, Yair Rodriguez. Like I had that fight with Yair winning, but even with him having the twisted ankle in the beginning,
Yeah, that jump.
um, yeah, that
He
jump for
hurt
no
himself.
reason. Well,
Yeah.
I guess people do, there is a reason
Yeah,
for it,
people
but
do it.
he's
Yeah.
got he
Yeah.
just got messed up. I didn't, yeah, he was not winning the first round. Took him to the ground, which is what you do to a Taekwondo guy or a kickboxing guy. You take him to the ground and it's over with. This is a jujitsu versus a wrestler type
Yeah.
of fight, and we all know what type of ground game is a little bit better, especially in the UFC
Yeah. When it comes to
wrestling.
winning a decision for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like Sterling. I also do want to see the takedown props for
Yeah.
Sterling.
That could be a good one.
Yeah, I don't think Brian Ortega has that in him anymore. He doesn't seem like it looks like he's just getting a paycheck, in my opinion. He's almost at his end of his career, while Sterling is wants to make a name for himself in the new weight class,
100%.
wants that new title, double champ.
100%. I mean, the only thing that scares me with this takedown prop, again, I don't know what we don't know what it is yet, but is Ortega going to get up or is he just going to be content? You know what I mean? That's what could
Mm,
be fear. That's what could be the problem because if
got
Ortega
it.
takes him down or if Aljamain takes him down right away, in the first minute of the fight, is he going to be content sitting on the bottom trying to maybe find a submission?
That's
That
true.
could be the problem. But I do think if like a 2.5 line pops up, that's easy because he'll probably get at least one around. So,
I don't remember the last time I seen Sterling getting submitted.
yeah,
Brian
no.
Ortega is live for it. I know that, especially with his arm bars and triangles.
Yeah. Here, let's
Or
see.
maybe even now that I even think about
He's
it,
never been submitted.
okay, but I just can't. I
He
remember that guillotine against Volk, and that's
that was
because
so tight.
yeah, it was very tight, and it wasn't because it was a lousy takedown. And Sterling he does do a double leg takedown with his head on the outside, where I guess there's no really right specific answer if you want outside or inside. They're still
Yeah,
going to do the same thing. But if he does it on the outside, Brian Ortega by guillotine is really, really live. Uh,
could
Going
be.
back to
Yeah.
the where's it? No, when he got kneed, Marlon Morales when he got KO'd,
When Ortega
Sterling.
did,
No, when Sterling did by that knee. I believe it's
Peter,
Marlon Morales. No, when he was going for a takedown, they stood him up, and he was going for another
oh,
takedown
yep,
and got
Marlon
kneed.
Morales, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, he got kneed, and that was because of a lousy takedown. He wasn't, so I guess that's live as well, but we'll see.
Yeah,
This
we'll
is a good
see.
fight.
Eljo
I like
Sterling's
this.
definitely their Eljo decision is definitely the main play
Oh
that
yeah,
we're getting out of this, though, for now.
yeah.
All right, we'll move to the main event of the evening. Johnny Walker versus Zhang Ming Yang. I'm not going to overthink this fight.
Okay.
Zhang by goofy brutal KO is what I'm doing. Like, you think, Walker could make it weird and funny and keep moving around and just like touch up Zhang, maybe throw some knees, some high kicks and just be weird, like how he does. I'm not overthinking it. Zhang brutal, goofy KO, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not overthinking this fight. You definitely could though. What are you thinking?
What are his odds right now? Scroll down a little bit.
Zhang odds, he's a big favorite. He's like minus 300 or something, minus 340.
40. Okay. Johnny Walker is gonna try to clinch. I know that. But Zhang Ming Yang's his boxing when it's a tight boxing, he gets in it. What I'm trying to get at this is that Johnny Walker went to a second round against the current champ, against Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev he's not a good boxer, but he has a strong power. I'm in between either round one KO or round two KO.
Could be
I
by
think
one
it is.
too.
Yeah, I see a little bit of both. It's for sure not going past the
Five.
second round.
Yeah.
So I don't see that Johnny Walker surviving that brutal. He's been KO'd too many times.
Yeah.
Goofiness. Um,
Goofiness.
I guess I'll just have to look a little more into it. I think Zhang. closes the distance a little bit more than Magomed Ankalaev, which gives me a more reason why it's going to be earlier in the first round. But Johnny might just clinch up. We haven't really seen Zhang on the ground. I haven't
No,
really the
but
ground.
but so but to like get on that to start
Mm,
Zhang's career, he was a grappler.
there it
So
is.
like we haven't seen him yet, but he's done it. And I think he kind of like Ilya Taporia it in the fact that he's
Exactly. I was
like,
gonna say that.
there you go. Great
There it
minds think
is.
alike. That he's like, all right, I can knock people out. I'd rather just do that. So yeah, so we're both thinking the same thing, and we both have the same
But
thought
what if
process.
what if Walker just clinches, controls the body, just drops everything, goes for a heel hook for his brother?
Johnny
Oh
Walker,
my God.
that'd be
Dude,
crazy.
he just cuts everything out. Oh, that would be the goofiness. Oh my God.
What if you bet the
Let me just
fight
not
to
see
end
it.
by? What if you bet the fight to end by the submission? I mean, what? Zhang has six. Well, I mean, Walker only has
Oh,
three. He doesn't have many. He's only gotten one in the UFC,
it's about to be two.
one submission in the UFC against Ion Cutelaba.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, that
To end
is.
by submission, we'll see. We'll have to see what those odds look like.
I like it. I
Unfortunately,
like
I am
it.
in a state where I cannot even do it, so I will let you guys have the fun. I'm in California. It happens. But all right. Before we get out of here, do you have any thoughts on the what is Road to the UFC fights that are happening tomorrow or Friday? If you, I don't know if you know, so you Road to the UFC, the Chinese promotion that's kind of like Dana White Contender Series, whatever that
Yeah.
they do. They have two UFC fights that are happening as the co-main and main event. So now I don't even know how to Najargi Tuimbero. He's fought in the UFC against Taryn Satyam, and then Ming Shi. I don't know if you remember her. She was the doctor that had the
Oh yeah.
crazy head kick KO. She's fighting Bruno
Yeah.
Brazil, the fighting nerd. Um, so well, I guess she's not really a fighting nerd anymore, but she fights out of somewhere else now. But they're fighting Friday night as the co-main and main in the road to the UFC, and that's unfortunate because Ming Shi got a nice following after her KO win. So I was hoping they'd throw her in the UFC, but they're doing it here. But it will definitely get more people watching Road to the UFC. She's a big underdog too, Ming Shi. I think she could win. I'm not gonna lie. If she's got to stay busy against Bruno because Bruno's gonna stay busy. She won't finish her, but she'll stay busy probably. So we'll see. Good fights though.
I
They're
don't
fun.
think she has that good. I don't think Bruno Brazil has that much power.
No, she
I just
doesn't.
seen it. I saw the link I sent you today in the
Yeah.
morning, that YouTube video. They showed a little bit about her.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean,
Man,
it should be a decent
man,
fight though.
team by KO.
Wang Ming Shi.
Ming Shi.
Ming Shi. There you go. All right. Thank you guys for watching our UFC Fight Night Shanghai Walker versus Zhang breakdown. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned for more content, more stuff. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.